This is a very quick response to Varioblast, his video on Do Not Lulz, which is a response to Gary's video, King of the Cyberbullies. And I think, if I'm right in saying that Gary posed the question to you, Varioblast, if rape is a genetic predisposition, let's say, why isn't dog fucking equally predisposed? Why isn't there a gene for dog fucking, if I can oversimplify for effect? I've no intention of going there again, but one interesting area that might be available to all of us here is Freud, and I'm not a Freudian and not arguing for Freud, but Freud does have this the concept of what's called polymorphous perversity, which basically means that in Freudian psychoanalytic terms, that children are born with an undirected sexual libido. Everyone's, in Freud, and I stress it's within a very narrow field of practice, in Freud, everyone's born with a strong sex drive from childhood, from babyhood, but it's undirected, which means that they are capable of deriving erotic pleasure from any source, any part of the body. It's not located in the sexual organs at that point, and in relation to any entity or object. So it's not focused towards anybody. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It does that. It's polymorphous. It's multiple shaped, and also there's no derogative intent in the word perverse or perversity. Polymorphously perverse doesn't mean incorrect, although I know Ray Comfort has used it in that way. In Freud, it just means not subject to normative processes of socialization. And in Freud, as I say, you're born with this capacity for pretty much any kind of sexual and erotic engagement, but over the period of the first 5 years of life, when you start going through those various stages, the anal, the oral, the genital phase, that sexuality becomes located into a particular part of your body, your erogenous zones, and also becomes oriented towards particular sexual partners. And that's where it gets really controversial, and Freud plays that out in the Oedipus and Electra complex, where the family drama shapes sexual orientations in certain ways, and that's subject to a whole different set of critiques, I think. But I think this idea of polymorphous perversity is a rich one, particularly in relation to the kind of evolutionary origins debate that's been going on, and historicizations of sexuality. Freud's been out of fashion for a long time. He is due for a bit of a comeback, I think, and that's one of the areas that I think could be quite rich, because it wouldn't be beyond the and here I'm speculating beyond the data, I should say right now. It wouldn't be beyond the bounds of possibility, I think, to imagine the undirected polymorphous perversity in which, again in Freud, that kind of libidinal energy which we're all born with is a genetic inheritance. That I don't think that's too controversial. But the shaping that happens beyond that, particularly in the first 5 years, but beyond that too, is shaped by all kinds of forces, historical forces, and by that I mean the large-scale historical forces which keep things like families in shape and keep things like states and societies in shape. You know, the ones that have really got long historical reach, but also the shorter forces of day-to-day life and media saturation and contact and personal experiences and those kind of things. Anyhow, as I say, I'm not signing up to those ideas, particularly myself, and I'm not certainly not married to Freud, but it's another set of ideas which were worth kicking around, and of course would allow for dog fucking if we chose to go there.